G'day guys, Clint Adams here, recording episode number 36 of The Full Landscape with Steph and Kai from Elite Outdoor Design. The guys are fiancés? How's that even said? Interesting business dynamic. So obviously Kai's got a background in landscaping and Steph has a background in recruitment and hairdressing. I'm not sure how much the hairdressing comes into play, but it really works. So I asked them a lot of questions about how they've got to where they have now in the 2.5 years that they've been in business, and there's a few tips in there for young business owners about things that they've overcome along the way, so I hope you enjoy. Thanks for coming in.
No worries.
Finally here. You all good? So I guess to get started, I'm just keen for you guys to introduce yourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Each, and the company, and tell us what you do.
Yeah, sweet. Do you want to go first?
You go.
All right. So I'm Kai, Director of Elite Outdoor Design. I've been landscaping for 10, coming on 11 years. Started my apprenticeship with a small company out Galway. Was there for about 4 or 5 years. Then I went into a business partnership with another guy. Did that for a couple of years, probably three years, which was fine. But then we just decided we were going in 2 different directions, so we split. And then started Elite Outdoor Design, coming up 2.5 years. Yeah, 2.5 years now. And just haven't looked back since then. So that's my story.
I'm Stephanie. I'm Kai's fiance, and I originally was a hairdresser, so I did my apprenticeship hairdressing, and then from there went on to employment services, and then throughout, obviously, Kai starting up Elite Outdoor Design, there was always the intention of me coming over eventually and helping. Within the first 2 weeks, was it? Yeah. I reckon I got a phone call and said...
I think we said, we'll wait about 6 months, maybe a year, and then 2 weeks in, it was, all right, quit your job, let's go.
And how long had you guys been together at that point? Was it pretty fresh or?
About 2.5 years.
Okay, so it was serious enough.
No, it wouldn't have been that long. It would have been over a year.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't just like you just met.
Oh, no.
And you're like,
there was definitely that intention.
Let's start a business together.
No, we were pretty set.
Stable.
So,
house plans on the horizon and all that sort of stuff.
Do you cut his hair?
I do.
Now?
Yes.
Yeah.
It hasn't been done in a while, so
yeah.
Hey.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and have a go at anyone about hair. I'm a few weeks past my haircut.
Oh, it's like trying to pull teeth, trying to get him on the chair though.
Yeah.
He just hates
You're not
it.
getting a haircut.
I don't mind it, but
There's a lot going on.
yeah.
But he just doesn't care. I'm like,
I don't
come on,
care.
mate, you own a business,
Yeah.
you've got to look the part. Come
Yeah.
on, mate. He's like,
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
seen
care
his
what I
face.
look like.
This I'm starting to see something here. So before we started recording the podcast, we were talking about Apple and Android, and Kai's not allowed to post on social because he's got an Android phone,
Yes.
and now Kai has to have his
Pixelated.
hair cut.
He does.
So,
beard shaved.
yeah.
And
There's
he
a
only done that
couple
this morning for this podcast.
So
So
do you guys are obviously now joint directors
yes,
for a
correct.
company.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do you think, what would the company look like today if Steph didn't get involved?
So back when I was running a partnership, I think it would have been very similar. So we ran sort of myself, my business partner, and 2 or 3 guys.
Yep.
We didn't advertise, we didn't market anything. Everything was literally reliant on the guys that we contracted to. So we contracted to a few swimming pool companies and whatnot.
So like mainly coping as the gateway drug to the backyard?
Correct.
Yep.
So we'd do the copings, that would be part of the contract,
Yep.
and then we would chat with the clients while on site, quote for extra work and whatnot. But we were doing, I was doing very basic landscaping, paving, bit of pool fencing.
Yep.
And that's why I wanted to break out so that I could start to do, some of the more unique designs and
Where
stuff.
your business partner at the time was happy with the status quo?
Yeah,
Yep.
he was happy. So we had a bit of an age difference.
Yep.
He was a bit older than me, so he was happy to just sort of cruise through doing what we're doing.
Yep.
We were happy. We were making enough money to get by. It was all working, but I wanted to do something bigger. So I think I'm hands-on. I know how to build stuff.
Yep.
I didn't know about marketing. That wasn't me. So I think without having Steph on board, I would have struggled to build a brand to get the business out there. And I think we would have been a much smaller company than what we are now.
So how many staff do you have now?
So now we've got
8 full-time
full-timers.
guys, and then Kai and I, and then we did have a casual, which we will potentially look at after all this.
Whatever,
finishes.
and it's hard. How did coronavirus impact you guys? Like, I haven't really had a chance to talk to too many business owners about it, and like, when I was deep inside it, you feel a lot differently to now when you're out. I guess I feel like we're on the outside of it now. And what was it like for you guys?
It was stressful. Like, obviously having 8 full-timers coming into winter, we're very mindful of weather's going to impact stuff as well. We did have a few jobs postponed. We had 1 cancellation due to it. And completely understand, other people losing their jobs, that sort of stuff. Bit uncertain about what's going to happen. So obviously not wanting people in their backyard as well.
I guess that was the general consensus I got from other landscapers, that either a client was a business owner or they might have been a surgeon. Elective surgeries were cancelled, and then like restaurant owners and cafe owners were not spending money in getting their backyards done. And
So the phone definitely did die down. It's picking up now, which is great. I think April was probably our biggest low and our biggest worry, and when it first started, I think
that was our worst.
Everyone just didn't know what was going on. Uncertainty was there. So now it's picking back up. We did reduce the guys down to 4 days a week just for a while, just to maintain the workload that we've got, which helped a lot. And but now we're cruising. The phones are ringing again, and
your guys were like, I guess, accepting of, they understood what you were trying to do.
We've got a great team.
Like to them, they took it on board in stride, and no complaints. They understood that it's something that hopefully none of us ever have to go through again. We didn't know how to handle it as a business.
You don't learn that.
Exactly.
Like I think even governments were trying to work out what to do.
Exactly right. Yeah. So the work was there. It was just trying to, hey, let's stretch it out just in case we don't know where the next lead's coming from, basically. So
the jobs that were cancelled and postponed, is that back on the cards now?
Yeah,
everything's cool.
So a few of them have come back. Unfortunately, there was, I think, another one that their job didn't quite come back. So we ended up having 2 cancellations. But the other ones are starting to book back in and get on board. So it's
So is the number of staff you have now, is that kind of like the perfect number that you've found, or is it just perfect for now? Or
perfect for now, we think. We're still trying to grow as a business. We've got different avenues that we're exploring that we potentially think could progress us further as a business, and as we do that, we'll need people to fill those positions. But what we've got right now, we're happy with, and I think we can comfortably work with for a while to get things exactly how we want to run. So,
and you're taking care of recruitment, I'm guessing, based on
So I'll do the initial recruitment stage, and then I will definitely get Kai, because I'm not a landscaper. I don't know technical things, what he needs as a team member. So I'll do the initial interview, and then if they're successful from what I have to say, then I'll definitely get Kai involved.
So that's not dissimilar to the standard recruitment.
Oh, exactly right.
Company.
Very similar.
You're just doing it in-house.
Exactly. I just look on punctuality and things like that, and then he's the actual technical side of things.
Do you have a go-to interview question that you are happy to share? Because obviously, if anyone's gonna, and this would be really funny if you do advertise and then people are doing their research and then they watch your podcast and then they're ready for the question, it might be. But do you have a go-to, or
not really go-to? it's more general conversation. I just want to know them as a person, what their what their thoughts are in regards to their family side of things. Obviously for us, we're a very family-orientated business, so we want family always comes first no matter what. But do they have kids? What time do they need to finish work? Do they need to do school pickup? What sort of barriers may
affect our working hours?
Our working hours. We're very lenient in that regards, but it's good to know their sort of background as well. So it's more so let me get to know you and what you're capable of, really. So
because I generally wouldn't interview with a list. I don't have any questions.
No, I'm just
interview. So
general,
it's interesting to hear. I guess someone who's come from a recruitment background as well.
Yeah.
So then once you onboard your team, I'm assuming you're running a Monday to Friday. Do you guys work weekends?
No, I mean
only during summer if it's a
cranky
push to get stuff finished. But we try and keep that work-life balance. So we very rarely will ask the guys to work a Saturday unless Christmas rush, because it's the most important day of the year. So,
do you have a strategy around the approach to Christmas? Have you in your
work till you drop?
Just keep working and then stop.
We, to be honest, in previous years, I have been very poor with my planning, to be honest. We take on a lot of work and
I like to please everyone.
Let's get everything done.
Yes.
I think that's a landscaper problem. Just say yes to everyone.
He says yes.
Correct. And
Which we've learned not to do.
Yeah, last year was actually really good. We had a couple big projects on the go that we were pushing through to get done, but it wasn't trying to be dragged from here, there, and please everyone.
My law was leading into Christmas.
Correct.
And that was, I remember that was a conversation that you had with the client saying, look, let's get it, that area around the pool.
Yeah. To a stage where it's usable for
and they
Christmas.
can have their family and friends around.
Yeah.
So it's about planning now. Is that we've taken a much better approach to planning around that time of year. So
I asked because I've had landscapers that sometimes leave that last week or two free.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Don't even book anything in. So from like December 16 to 25, they've got nothing in there.
Yeah.
Because it inevitably something comes up, or someome's like, "Can you do this?" And you're like, "Yep." For
sure.
Twice as much as you normally would charge. So not suggesting that you would do that.
No. I understand.
But that Christmas, it's so funny how much people tie like their backyard to their happiness of their Christmas. Like if it's not done, we don't have joy.
Yeah.
And Father Christmas is not coming.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah,
Which
it's a big lead up for one day.
Yeah, we get that, and it's not as bad at Easter time, but it's still, there's a little bit of that around Easter as well.
We had landscaping going on around Easter, and I think we just wanted to get, like, I had my lawn go down around that time, but I think, I guess as a parent, I understand, like, Easter's the start of a holiday period, so you've got 2 weeks of having the kids home, so you're either you're going away for Easter and it doesn't matter, or you're going to be home for 2 weeks if you've got a lawn that's about to go down or a trampoline that's about to go in. That's relevant. I think, or if you're having your family around for Easter and you want to show off your
correct,
definitely, it's a big thing. You're spending all that money, you want to be able to show it off when everyone's around at the same time. So
it's all about the ego.
Yes.
So what's, I guess, and this is probably a question each of you can answer, the best and worst thing about running a business with your fiance?
That's a good
You go
question.
first, actually. This will be good.
The best thing about it is that we're so, obviously the business model and the way we run the business is we try and run it that is going to benefit the both of us. Whereas, because I've run a business with a business partner that was not, a de facto or fiance or whatever.
Yeah.
We had different views on how we wanted to do things. The best thing is that we're working towards a common goal. So we're working towards what's going to benefit us and our employees long term. So that's probably the coolest thing, is that we, when we first got into business together, everyone was saying, "What are you doing? You're going to argue all the time. You're going to see each other all the time." We don't argue at all. We've got the same common goal that we're working towards, and that's probably the best thing about it. The worst thing about it is
tread carefully.
Pick my words carefully with this one. That's a tough one. Probably the worst thing about it is, which is probably a catch-22 because it's the worst and the best thing, is being held so accountable. Is the fact that if I don't do something and I'm being a bit lazy, I can't hide. So, which, like I said, it's the worst, but it's also a good thing. So, there's no shortcut, which is good.
I've seen it work well with, I guess, husband-wife or fiance partnerships when traditionally the male is the landscaper and they're pretty chill about things, and it's we'll get to that next week, but then there's
the backbone.
Actually, we need to invoice this because we got to pay for that.
Exactly.
Okay, so we have to finish it today.
Yeah,
you do.
Yes.
So what's your best and worst?
I'll definitely agree with the best in regards to having the same common goal. Kai's obviously got the passion behind him for the last 10 years of what he does, but I know I see so much potential in him, so I want him to keep growing. So I always push him, and when holding accountable, it's, like you said, it's a good thing as well, because I won't let him get away with anything. Probably the best thing though as well is we have a clear defined job role, so we don't clash. Like there's I obviously do the back end sort of stuff. I do all the payroll, the invoicing, the marketing, all that sort of stuff, which I enjoy doing.
Yep.
He's on site project managing. He runs the teams. He tells them what to do, all that sort of stuff. So we don't ever clash. It's not like one person's telling the guys to do something and the other is as well. It's clearly defined. So that's probably the best thing. And the worst thing, I mean, probably when he tries to advertise on social media.
I was waiting for that. I'm just like throwing this pie up and you just smack.
Because he's got a Samsung and I don't like it. So
if you're in charge of the office administration, etc.
Yeah.
Isn't it up to you what phone he uses?
Well, yeah, I've told him he needs to change his laptop and everything to an Apple, and he just hates my computer.
Apple doesn't have a back button. That's what gets me.
Yeah.
There's no back
As in,
button.
like the Android has the little.
Yeah. Well,
so
you
if
don't
I
need
want to
buttons.
get through my phone quickly, it's easy.
I haven't used an Apple since the 5. So what?
No, it's all screen
You don't
touching.
need a back.
No, screen touching, swipe up, and it's all gone. And
Okay.
Steph asked me to check an email on her phone or something. It takes me about 20 minutes.
Oh.
So
even just
I
using my
can't.
computer, I've got like the newest Apple, and he hates it. Like
Mm.
everything is different. It's back to front from a Samsung, and what's the opposite of an Apple on a computer?
PC.
That's it. Yeah.
Are you agnostic? You can use both. Yeah. So the videographers that we've had have always been able to use,
Both.
like every one of them's been able to use both. But from what I
What's better?
understand,
What's better?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a massive Apple fan. We've had we joke about it heaps, but
Yeah.
we've got our 3 Mac users in our business are my IT guy, I guess he's also an IT guy. He does a lot of our website management, and like he does all the Lawn Hub distribution and all that,
Yeah.
and website management, and my videographer. So I think from a creative space,
Definitely more
They're all-
opportunity there.
Jaron, who's our IT guy, is also massively safe. So I think he likes Mac from a security standpoint.
He does,
like
yeah.
his house is connected to it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, you
he
can.
can,
Like
you
you got
know.
your Google Homes and everything
So-
is just a touch of a button, or ghost in
What are
his.
your beers trying to go away?
One of my beers is like, you told me we were going to catch up at 9:30. What's going on?
It's after 9:30.
Oh, sorry. For anyone listening, something just fell over, and obviously this is an audio and a visual broadcast. So, are you working on site now? Like you talked about him, Kai project managing and running the guys. Are you physically out doing the work now, or it's beyond that now?
Sometimes you can't step away.
Yeah, I still enjoy actually doing.
So it's
the
not a
construction
control
side.
issue.
No, it's
No.
not a control
You just
issue.
wanna do it.
I enjoy doing it. I do step away. I've got some really good guys that Steph has helped recruit in site supervisor positions that I'm quite comfortable to leave on site. There's a few certain components of the jobs that we do that I still we've chatted about and they're not quite comfortable with yet. So they're the times that I'll make myself available to be on site.
Like if you had a pour or something, and well, they're all good with that. Like I've seen big pours where the owner's usually there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on.
Things like that. Certain aspects like when we do glass fencing, that's just one thing that comes to mind that they haven't had enough experience in. So I'll be on site just to make sure it runs smoothly. Answer questions exactly. But yeah, most of my stuff now is project managing, is dealing with suppliers, making sure everything's on site so they've got work to do. Helping out. We've got a full-time estimator in the office who is picking things up very quickly, but his background is
Building sales.
building and like pergolas and all that sort of stuff. So he's still learning bits and pieces.
So is he
about-
doing client-facing meetings, or do you guys still? That's you guys.
He's still with us, so we
Yeah.
still like to be the face of the business and people to be able to see us when we go out to site. So he'll come along. He's only been on board since the start of January, so 6 months' time, there's still a bit for him to learn. He is really confident in meeting clients, and we still let him take the reins, but we're just there for any technical questions he may have while he's there talking to the client.
Yeah, so you have him there because he's the one that's going to be estimating the job.
Exactly
Correct.
right, so it's best for him to
But you're
visualise
the
it.
one building it. As such.
Yeah.
So you'll take 3 of you to an initial consult, or
We generally try and do two.
Two,
So if it's anything, the way we try and work, if it's anything to do with design and their potential to do a design, it'll be Steph and Andy. If it's anything where they're set on what they want and they just want technical questions, it'll be me and Andy.
Otherwise it could probably be a bit overwhelming having
we
Definitely.
have
a bus get everyone.
we have done a couple with 3 and we found that as well. We said it's too many moving parts, too many questions being answered by different people.
But we have overcome it by explaining that it is a training for Andy. It's not, we don't normally bring 3 people out, but it's for him to see how both of us interact with clients as well, because we're very different approaches sometimes. So it's good for him to get a variety of how we both talk.
I've seen it be challenging to have even 2 because there can be conflicting opinions about how things might need to be done or understandings, and almost like one of you needs to just talk and the other one doesn't. And
Yeah.
it's just,
We find it good, especially if it's a husband and wife, because naturally the girls like to filter off to chat to me, and
Yep.
sometimes we get the feedback from females they feel a lot more comfortable having a female there and
Yep.
answering questions, and
Yep.
and normally when I'm there I just help Kai measure and like
Yep.
draw it up and any of that sort of stuff.
what
anyway,
is that, holding the dumb end of the tape measure? Is that the...
Yeah, I normally do that. Put the onus back on there, mate. So.
That's good. I like that. So, what's your team constructed of? Like, have you kind of focused on, like, I guess there's always like combinations of like you've got a paving and a carpenter and a like. Have you done that, or are they all landscapers as such?
Yep. So we've got a very diverse team, I would say, in the sense that we don't have a guy that, you know, all I want to do is paving or all I want to do is decking. Everybody in our team we've sort of selected because they like to do diverse,
Like an all-rounder.
Yeah. So the way we sort of run our teams is at the moment is with a team of 3.
Yep.
So we've got a site supervisor, a leading hand, and an apprentice.
Yep.
And then depending on the size of the job, we'll filter through people. If we need extra hands on site, we'll pinch someone from another team to just help out for that day.
So there's 2 lots of 3, and then
and then
a team of 2.
who just does our contract work for pool companies.
Yep.
Yeah. And so if they're not doing something for a pool company on that day, they'll go and help out on the bigger sites to move things along.
So would that mean that, and I haven't let you answer the question, but I've thought of something else, and I will let you go back to it. If you need to hire another crew, you hire 3 people at once? Is it like that?
Not necessarily, yeah.
No. We're very much about growth, so we don't want to just have to hire more people. We want to, if our leading hands and stuff want to grow up, grow in the business and become a site supervisor, that's who we'd look at initially first.
And then
then they progress, and maybe another apprentice, or it just depends on obviously the workflow, really.
And that's going to be ad hoc, just as it feels like, all right, we're not handling this, we've got enough workflow for the next 6 months, we'll bring in an apprentice and push the rest up. Or,
correct. Yeah, that's what we would, if that would come to that, we'll initially look at that.
We would assess it first, I think. So if it happened next week, then we would look to outsource another site supervisor, because where we're at right now,
Yep.
we're probably not ready to hand over the reins to one of the other guys just yet.
Yep.
But if it was in 6 months' time, 12 months' time, that's when we would just assess the situation and see where the guys are at with their development.
So I think the answer was most of you guys are landscapers.
Correct.
There's no carpenter that's come in and become a landscaper.
No.
So do you have a budget for the year? Like, do you sit down and write a financial year budget,
Yep.
and then and you'll chase that? So what kind of percent do you have? And you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but do you have a percentage growth that you're trying to achieve each year, or you kind of run the same budget as the year previous, or?
Well, because we are still so fresh, I mean, we only got basically last year's stats for this year to look at.
Yeah.
Previous state was a sole trader, so it was completely different.
Yep.
So, I mean, we have got like growth goals,
Yep.
but at this stage, obviously with the coronavirus this year may not grow as
that's
much
a
as
tough
last
thing.
year.
What,
But
one full financial year and a half.
yeah.
And then,
So there will definitely be more goals in place moving forward, but we don't really have the back stats to be able to reflect how much growth we're doing right now, because it's so new still.
It's going to be a bit tricky because, like you said, we've gone from 1 year of having sort of 4 or 5 employees, then we've bumped up to 10, 11, and now with the coronavirus, everything's dropped back. So it's going to be quite
you're almost
hard
like you're rebuilding.
Correct, yeah.
It's funny that I talk to a lot of landscapers, and one of the things that I'm trying to find is, I guess, the perfect number of employees in my head.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't affect me because I'm not going to be landscaping, but you've got crews where there's 20, there's a couple of them. This is residential.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you've got a lot of kind of 2s and 4s and 6s. I don't see a lot of 12s and 15s.
Yep.
And I don't know
This
how
is
that
right.
works. And I know guys that have gone out to 15 and 16 and cut back to 10 or 8, and they're making the same amount of money at 10 or 8 as they were with 16.
Yes.
Because you can't watch as much, or I don't know. The scalability is really challenging.
Definitely.
So I'd be interested to see how that goes for you guys over the next
Yeah.
5 years. But I think if you diversify, and I've noticed that you've got a relationship with Biotop Pools.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. We're a partnership.
So if you diversify, I think that might make it easy to have that growth.
Definitely. Yeah.
What is the go with the Biotop Pools relationship? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, of course. So basically, we partnered up with Biotop, which is a swimming pool company in Austria.
Yep.
The whole Sorry.
Is that just so? That's right. I have some water. Is that just so you can have some tax deductible holidays to Europe? Like,
Oh yeah,
Just
that's a
like, we're supposed
honeymoon.
is it Austria?
No, well, maybe now.
We're supposed to be there right now, actually, but
Yeah, we're supposed
really?
to actually be
Yeah.
there, for our physical training. So, yeah, we partnered up with Biotop. Pretty much we've been in contact with them since the beginning of the year, would you say, or a bit before?
How did that come
No,
about? You reach out to
last
them through
Last
social media?
yeah,
Kai's always been interested. He's always wanted to. I mean, Kai's worked around pools for the last 10 years, so we obviously want to take that next step and approach the pool industry as well as landscape. But we have so much Kai has so much passion for landscaping as well. So what's a way we can incorporate the two together?
Yep.
So that's when natural pools come about, and done a lot more research and come across Biotop and got in communication with them. You think it was last year?
yeah,
Yeah.
we've definitely been last year.
Yeah, and the concept behind it, had a few chats with a Victorian company,
Natural
Natural
Pools
Pools
Australia.
Australia.
Yep, I know the brand.
Yeah, Wayne from there has been a really good help with Kai and had quite a few lengthy conversations about the products. And so then, we partnered up and become official partners 3 or 4 months ago now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So then you kind of just haven't been able to do
I
the next
know.
step.
So
Yeah.
we have had quite a few inquiries, unfortunately, due to the coronavirus, not being able to go over to Austria to do the physical training.
Yep.
It has restricted us a bit to do the marketing.
Yep.
But
Well, you don't want to go sell a pool and then you can't build it, can you?
exactly
Correct,
right.
yeah.
So we have had a couple of leads which Wayne has been really helpful on, so we can actually
Yeah, so we
collaborate with
we've,
him in
we've spoken
regards
with
to.
Biotop about it,
Yeah.
and given the current situation, obviously I've done a heap of research, a heap of online training, all
Yep.
that sort of stuff to make sure I know what we're doing.
Yep.
But Wayne from Natural Pools Australia has helped heaps, and
Yep.
we've sort of come to an agreement that if we can't obviously go to do the training in Austria for who knows how long until
Could be a year.
restrictions are
Yeah, hopefully not.
So we've come to an agreement that they'll actually let us build them with Wayne's sort of guidance on
Because
it.
he's a Biotop trained.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's been part of Biotop.
So he's Victoria and then you'd be South Australia?
Correct. Yeah.
yeah.
And there's one other in Perth as well, but that's all, and that's
Yep.
the only ones in Australia. Yeah.
So we've reached a way that around the travel restrictions that we can start to sort of market it and brand it. So
No, maybe not with Victoria.
well,
Yeah.
yeah.
How they going
So-
now?
And look, that can't. I think once we get into August and September, you'll find that warmer weather.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
think it will.
So what's the difference between a natural pool and a non-natural pool?
Yep. So the biggest visual difference, I guess, is the fact that there's two different types of pool that we can do with the Biotop. One is what they call a natural pool, which is basically a big swimming pond. So whatever surface area you've got to swim in, you'll have the same as a plantation regeneration zone. So you can plant out, put moss rocks, build it out of any natural material. And then the other one is the living pool. And so that is a little bit more like your conventional swimming pool, but so you can tile it, you can build it whatever shape you want, tile it. You don't have to have that regeneration zone, and it runs off a different filtration system. The biggest difference is obviously the water. So there's no chemicals involved at all. It's like crystal clear water, like swimming in a natural.
So
spring.
nature keeps it pond clean or lake clean or whatever.
Correct, yeah. So, but with the living pool, because you're not having that big plantation zone that filters the water, there's actually a filtration system that Biotop have made that removes all the algae and
So like a biofilter that you would have in a pond. With UV light and
correct,
and filters to catch the dead bugs.
yeah.
I'm not making it sound very beautiful.
No.
You wouldn't let me put that on social media. That's not an ad for Biotop. That's pretty cool. So are there fish in there?
You don't.
No.
You wouldn't put fish in there, but if you
They could
really
live in
wanted
it.
to, you could.
They
Yeah.
live.
I mean,
so it's like a
naturally,
backyard lake.
Correct.
Like
Like
a pond.
like frogs will naturally come, dragonflies, all that sort of stuff. I mean, you wouldn't go put carp in there. But.
And that dodges the effects of chlorine on your skin and
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
so I'm severely asthmatic and quite high in allergies and stuff. So chlorine pools, which we have a chlorine pool at home ourselves, but we need to obviously renovate that.
Yeah.
But I get terrible blonde hair. Obviously goes green, and I just get really itchy skin, and my asthma does.
naturally blonde hair too.
Yeah, it's natural. Under all these foils.
Could you swim in an ozone pool, or obviously you're looking to build natural pools, so
Yeah,
you're going to go down that path.
Yeah.
But is it chlorine just messes with your skin?
Chlorine, it just more my asthma.
Yep.
More so if you see myself swimming like daily, all day in summer, I'll get quite tight chest, knowing I need my asthma spray a little bit more, and itchy eye. Obviously, like kids when they're swimming, you see them come out with raw red eyes.
I think we've got salt. I don't know. We just had a pool put in.
Don't know what I got.
I'm pretty sure it's salt.
Salt or mineral?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I should look at that.
Yeah.
Where they're like nearly finished, so they're doing the tiling. They've got to tile the floor of it, and they're done.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about your relationship with designers. Obviously, Nikki King's someone that comes to mind that you've had a relationship with for a long time.
Yeah.
How does that all work, and what does it mean to you to have relationships with designers?
It's great. Nikki is fantastic. Our relationship with Nikki is beautiful. She's like family now. I think we hang out with her all the time. So she's great. Her passion she has is fantastic. So, and we feel comfortable with any design work we have. It's to go to Nikki for sure.
So if you go to a consult and they need a design done, Nikki will get pulled into the...
Correct. Then I'll introduce Nikki, and then we'll... I'm very heavily involved when it comes to Nikki as well, only because we are separate companies, but we like to make the client feel like the whole package is coming.
They can talk to you, not
Correct,
Nikki. So if they've got a concern with design, they can actually say, well, I feel comfortable with Steph, I want to talk to her about it.
Yeah, I mean, Nikki's definitely going to be their first point in contact because she's going to be the one being able to rectify any issues, but just there's a bit more of an open platform. If they have any questions, they can ask me, especially if I find technical questions they may ask if they have any, and then obviously I relay that to Kai.
It does help working that closely because sometimes Nikki, will have a question about a design, especially because we do a lot of work around pools with compliancy and all that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. She might have an amazing design idea, but that just isn't technically going to work. So before we present it to a client, we can make sure all those things are thought out so that, we don't have to start quoting on a job that just physically is not going to work. So it's a really good relationship. Nikki will come in with designs before we present it to a client, and we'll run through it, making sure we'll start getting estimations so we can start getting budgets and stuff together.
Yeah. Use our facilities. We've obviously got our office and showroom downstairs where Nikki can use to present any designs to.
So have you got
like a
space that people can come and?
Yeah. So we've got upstairs level is our offices, so sometimes you can come in there, but downstairs is designed just to...
Class space is messy, I'm guessing?
It is, yeah.
Actually,
my
I've
corner
just
is
got
nice.
a desk in the corner that I have to sit facing the wall. So.
Sit there and don't talk.
Yeah, pretty much.
No physical computer, it's just his laptop, so...
Just like basically working at an airport.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you've got this, I'm assuming, awesome, beautiful space with shelves.
It goes up and down and want to stand up.
And, big Mac screens. And
anything you can ask for.
That's fair, though.
I've got enough room there for him. So.
And so you kind of work exclusively with Nikki without working exclusively with Nikki, kind of?
To an extent. I mean, if we were, if another designer came to us and said, hey, we'd really like you to quote on this job. We have such a good relationship with Nikki that... that's not an issue, and vice versa. If another landscaper said, "Hey, Nikki, can you design this?" It's not an exclusive.
And I don't think you're on an island there.
No.
You see, every landscaper's got clicks.
And
then they'll still go quote other work. And
exactly.
So what's obviously that pool coping side of the business is a big part of it, or is it's getting smaller now because you're growing the other part of the business?
So it was a massive part of it. We worked with quite a few pool companies, and to be completely honest, when we launched that we were going to start doing biotop, we were fully aware that was going to, ruffle a few feathers and we'd probably lose a few of our contracts, which we did, and we were fully prepared to do that because, like you said, the other side of that business is growing. So the attention has been drawn away from that and moved into other areas, but there are a couple that we still do work for that we keep.
They see past that. They're like, well...
Correct.
There's enough pools in the world.
Exactly.
And I think a natural pool client, I wouldn't have put one in. It was just it was never even on my radar.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't even deal with the mate. I'm just put the chemicals in it, but which is probably horrible. But
maintenance is actually a lot easier than a normal.
You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You're not adding chlorine and getting mixing.
Exactly.
So
we understood it's a completely niche market. It's not everyone's cup of tea. So, and that's kind of the conversation that I had with with the pool companies we used to work for. Some of them understood, some of them didn't, but
It is what it is.
fully aware of that.
Do you regret? I guess you can't know what's going to happen, but the Biotop announcement could have happened in a year.
If we knew coronavirus was going to hit, yes.
Then yes.
But what do you do? And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's a question I often ask, and I'll ask you out of interest that do you have any regrets about anything that you've done in business, or would you do anything differently? And often it's no.
Yeah.
But I'm keen to know, like, would there be anything that you've done differently? I mean, even structurally, having a sole trader initially, should you have gone? Are you a company now?
Correct.
Company,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like,
That I definitely wish we did a lot
Yeah,
sooner, for
yeah.
sure. It's a lot harder now. Obviously, we've got 6 cars on the road, and
Trying to swap all of them.
Right.
mate,
it's a nightmare.
yeah. So stuff like that, like, you know.
Yeah, there's no.
Or maybe what's a better question would be: are there lessons that you've learned that would probably you'd do things differently moving forward that might benefit young landscapers? You know, around anything, vehicle purchases or employment contracts.
I think just one thing that I've learned is to scale the business properly. So we've done what we touched on before. I've gone from, 2-3 employees up to 10 like that, and then gone, crap, this isn't going to work. So I think knowing where your business is at and really looking into the figures and what you're turning over and stuff compared to how you can scale it is...
Don't just keep hiring people.
Don't, exactly, yeah. I made that mistake before. And then also the other thing before I had Steph on board is who we were hiring. Everyone can talk great in an interview and promise the world, but there are certain things that you need to look for to make sure you're hiring the right talent, not just people to get the that you need right then and there. Be patient with who you hire. So
Yeah.
That'd probably be the biggest thing as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't regret us growing as quick as we did. Like, I thoroughly enjoy where we're at now, but it's probably, like Kai said, just take a step back maybe and just assess it first before we did things. We did go through a very difficult time probably before Andy came on board, and just because were so big and so quickly, just Kai and I trying to manage everything. So Kai trying to project manage, train the new site supervisors up, train the apprentices, then trying to get out to do quotes, like site assessments and estimations, and me even trying to quote when I'm not a landscaper myself, do you know what I mean? So I'm a quick learner, but I can only do so much as well in regards to that. So Kai was just getting pulled left, right and centre to try and do everything. So I think maybe, scaling business, not growing as quick, and utilising and delegating other people to do things for us as well, which, for instance, Andy.
During that period, you don't realise how much it affects everything. So even the quality of work that we were producing, there was a phase there where it just wasn't up to scratch, and we had to do repair work, and obviously that costs money. So it's just that probably been my biggest thing. Is
Scaling's it's a dangerous beast.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, and
We'll
you
get
think
so
about
excited as
companies that
well.
have scaled, like I just finished listening to a book about Amazon, and they're like growing, 4,000 employees in a year.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like, you've done recruitment. Imagine trying to recruit 4,000 employees.
God.
So, well, look, I don't, like the same with everything. You're not on your own, but it's good to reflect back on it and go, okay, well, now moving forward, because there's plenty of landscapers that have been doing that for 20 years and they're still doing it, and they're still just hiring whoever comes in the door. I often hear from landscapers about everyone can do wet lay, and as soon as you put them out on site, they're like,
Where do I start?
well, when I say I can do it, I don't know how to get my levels, but I can bring stuff to you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's catch-22 of just needing numbers and people there, or you want proper talent, and we're very happy with the team we've got now. It's taken us a bit to get to, but we're very happy with the team.
But you've been in business 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Like, to say it's taken us a bit to get to,
Yeah.
sound like I've got a team now that's 11 years old, and I'm happy with my team.
Yeah.
And it's taken me a bit to get to. So
Yeah.
and I think in time you look back in 5 or 8 years and go, holy shit, like we were happy before, but now we're really happy.
Really happy. Exactly.
Because you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you have an incident and you'll be like, oh God, how do we avoid that?
How do we avoid that? And our biggest thing is probably not taking a step back and appreciating things that we do, like milestones in our business. It just goes so quickly. Like you said, it's only been 2.5 years. It feels like a lot longer than that, but we don't sit back and reflect on the things that we've achieved. and sometimes we say like we need to stop and just appreciate when things happen, like the bar top sort of stuff.
That's
like
a big deal.
It's like, wow, we've got it, and then all right, tomorrow it's a different day, so we just keep going. Do you know what I mean?
Look, I'm the same, and I think that there's a lot of like business coaches or professionals that'll be like, take some time to smell the roses, and I'm a bit like, you know what, you smell your own roses. Like, I got shit to do.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to maintain perspective and not get too caught up in the negatives.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think that if you celebrate the wins too much, then you'll dwell on the losses heaps.
Yes.
And so by you just going, well, we've got it, and then we move on,
you
kind of just maintain this very neutral emotion.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's healthy. But a lot of people will say to you, oh, you have to go celebrate the wins.
Oh, no.
But I've done that before, and then I'm drunk for like a year.
Got out of hand.
Yeah, well, I just we had a goal when we hit 3.3 million, which was like the highest. Like, so in my previous employment, I ran a business, and that was the highest sales I got.
Oh wow!
The business too. So then when I got to that, I was like, woo!
Yeah.
And like a year later, I'm like, hang on a sec.
What happened?
We haven't reset. Like, I don't have a new goal.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a kind of a fine line there. So you'll just take it as it comes moving forward now. That obviously the biotop thing, that's where it is. Mm-hmm. So you can only control what you can control.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll hopefully. Yeah, we are in chats with Biotop about different opportunities, whether it is a full week online training sort of thing, but hopefully we can get back to marketing a little bit sooner.
Well, if they're doing, and everyone's had to pivot in the world now, and I hate using that word because it's such a bullshit. But there's only so many. Well, there's only so many words in the English language, so pivot has to exist. Mm-hmm. What I can't see there being a negative in them doing online training.
Oh, definitely.
Because if they're trying to then have partnerships with someone in Northern Territory, for example, they'll have to wait 2 years before they can do that. Whereas if they produce a new system for doing it, then maybe they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are in the process of getting an online training seminar up and running.
I can imagine it's quite extensive.
But yeah.
I'm assuming there's a lot to it, because there's a lot of biology in there as well, which
definitely.
It's probably not the traditional, there's not as much science in landscape training. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you start looking at the chemical makeup of waterproofing products or the chemical makeup of a cement. Do you know what I mean? But this is biology. No, you just go, I trust what's on the bag, it's been tested and it works. And But this is a lot different. I mean, I'm assuming Natural Pools Australia man could be an authorised Australian trainer.
He probably could.
But if he's busy...
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's still got his show to run, but he's been very helpful to Kai and put aside a lot of time for Kai, which is great. Yeah, very appreciative of him.
The I guess the two things that I was thinking about before you came was the Melbourne International Flower and Garden Show. Mm-hmm. Is that something you go to? Would you go? Would that be something you'd look to go to each year?
We haven't been.
But definitely.
And then are you going to be entering into awards as that becomes a thing? I'm assuming we'll have an awards season again this year, whether or not we can have...
Yeah, people there. Or...
that's it. Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
So we, that's one of our goals is to enter an award. And even if we just enter one, just to, we've never done it. So
I love that. So many people... For the same kind of landscapers that protect their Instagram feed won't enter unless they know they can win. Right, or unless they think the job is that good, that they will win, and there could be three of them that think their job's that good.
Yeah, of course.
I think there's so much value in entering, knowing that you probably won't win. For the experience.
Oh, definitely.
Get some feedback.
How your site had to get prepared and
exactly just to see how it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. We're very excited for that. Like I said, we only went to our first MLSA awards night last year. Yeah. Didn't enter anything, but just to get a feel of what it was like. Yeah. So we're definitely
Well, you've only been in business and I think you can enter your jobs for 10 years now.
Okay.
And don't quote me on that. I think it was
Clint
3.
said.
Look, the MLSA probably have enough trouble with the things I say. It was 3 or 4 or 5 years, and I think it's out to 10 now. So you could actually have an established job. Like Mylord, for example, when all the plants are established, you might enter that in 5 years.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I don't know. Check the terms and conditions.
Might do that.
So with that video work that you've been doing, are you guys producing that in-house, or have you engaged
Yes.
a company or?
So we deal a lot with Media Inc.
Yep.
So Marlo from Media Inc. does a lot of our footage work.
Yep.
Anything that basically I'm in, that
Yep.
he obviously films it for me. But the smaller sort of stuff that I will do, like even the timber work that we're doing the other day,
Yep.
or the guys doing the stone work the other day, that's what I film and I'll edit and
Are you filming that on your
upload.
phone?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
a little
On the
gimbal.
Samsung.
Yeah.
No, it's not on the Samsung.
On a gimbal. You guys will
gimbal.
have to compare gimbals after the show. He filmed me the other day while I was driving with like a.
Massive one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can't use it. I've got one for my camera and I'm like, I'll just go to the phone one.
Yeah. We should have more of that tech. It's funny we don't have a drone. He was in my face, not in my face, but he was like, well, we should probably get a drone. Have you got a drone?
I want one for sure. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
love to take footage.
Yeah.
That'll probably be the next step.
Yeah, just try and fly it in a big park first.
Do you have to have a
before I go to-
license?
Depends how commercially you want to do it.
Yeah,
Oh, so you're just
yeah. Just for fun.
you're just doing it for fun. So I guess I have no other questions. Is there anything you want to add? Is there anything that you've got coming up that you want people looking at? I guess your website and social is Instagram.
Yeah,
Where it's
website's
at.
obviously just been all redone, so
Yep.
website's a good place to look. But obviously, yeah, we want to increase our social
Yep.
following, so that would be great.
EliteOutdoorDesign.com.au.
Yes,
Yep.
that's it. Yeah.
And then at the same
Yes,
on
correct.
Instagram.
Instagram, yep, same Elite Outdoor Design.
Cool. Thanks for coming in.
No worries, thank
If
you.
anyone wants to get in touch with the guys, we'll link up their socials and their website and their phone number and their
Brilliant.
everything else. And hopefully
Everything.
we'll have a deep dive again soon on
Yeah.
one of the
That'd be great.
sites. Cool.
Perfect.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.